Hello, Warner Brothers. My name is Shaun L. Jones. I'm about to tell you a little story about a boy who had a dream of becoming something great, who always loved music and entertainment, and always had a vision of being successful. That little boy was me. As a kid, I used to watch a lot of great movies and shows. Some of my favorites were Star Wars, Fraggle Rock, also Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Harry Potter, and Popeye, which are a part of Warner Brothers Canon, just to name a few. Music and film inspired me to become the innovator and creative enthusiast I am today. My imagination ran wild as I created my own drum set from buckets in my garage and took apart keyboards, only to put them back together again, amongst other things. This passion has lasted into my adulthood, and perhaps as an adult, I have become even more driven to pursue my dreams. At the age of 14, I began to hone my piano and organ skills as I played for various groups and choirs. As time went on, I started to direct the choirs and acquired students who have gone on to do great things. Some work for current artists, well-known pastors, and have even traveled overseas. If asked, each can attest my dedication, hard work, professionalism, and perfectionist attitude. I then started composing music with my brother for his production company. We were fortunate to have many of our artists featured on radio shows, concerts, and in other arenas. One of the pieces I had a hand in creating was sold to Mary J. Blige for her song, You Remind Me, on her debut album, What's the 411. I then began writing and composing music for my daughter, which was 7 years old, at my home studio. My daughter and I collaborated to write and revise some children's songs. I specialize in many genres of music with a specific passion for gospel, hip-hop, jazz, neo-soul, classical, trap, and soul. I am a music innovator with the ability to infuse music in a film that will enhance the audience videographical experience and put your senses into overdrive. My music background allows me to tell a complete story. In my 20s, I envisioned and executed an event called Jam Session Musical Expo in Brooklyn, New York, under my company, which I am the CEO, Soul Industry Productions. This event consisted of various musicians' acts that performed on piano, drums, and organ, as well as singers, one whom I flew in from Ohio. I even arranged for live bands, comedy mimes, who I flew in from Florida, to beatboxing from the Beatbox House, and a mini concert by a local singing group. This event is my pride and joy. I had a great team. We promoted performers, known and unknown. People like Corey Henry, formerly a part of Snarky Puppy, a Grammy Award-winning group. Now he's the lead of a group called the Funk Apostles. Travis Sowles, who is one of the producers on Maxwell's latest albums. Cassandra O'Neal, who played the piano in the late artist Prince's band. Chelsea Dock, a former child prodigy who appeared on Ellen. Roger G, who was the guy on Skates and Michael Jackson's Bad videos. And John Fudge, a two-time winner of the McDonald's Gospel Fest comedy category, who's even been on BET, just to name a few. This event was a success with a packed house. I brought in videography, photography, lighting, and audio production. One day, my son, who is now 10, came to me and expressed that he wanted to start a YouTube channel. I said, okay, and it was history. So we began J1's Comedy, which consists of short comedy skits, J1 Science, which featured different experiments, and J1's Vlogs, where people can see his everyday life. I began to gather equipment I needed to to get the job done as professionally as possible. As I continued to work with my son, I was only using a cell phone to record. Using and mastering applications such as VideoLeap, Filmic Pro, and other apps for different effects. I realized how much I enjoyed and was passionate about what we were doing. This prompted me to further my education and perfect my gifts. I started my education with YouTube training and old-fashioned research. Not too long after, I decided to attend Full Sail's University, where I graduated with my bachelor's at the top of my class. Through Full Sail's University, I've gained the proper skills needed in order to become a great asset to any movie or television production company out there today. I am familiar with software programs such as Avid, Adobe Create Cloud, Final Cut Pro X, iOS, Windows, MS Office, and so much more. On my recent projects, I use the Canon 5D Mark IV or DSM-C2 digital red cameras, Sony F55, Sony FS5, Sony EXI, and Blackmagic URSA Mini 4K. I had the opportunity to sit under an amazing cinematographer, Rachel Morrison, with director Ryan Coogler, while shooting the Marvel movie Black Panther 2, which is scheduled for release on May 6, 2022. I was given the opportunity to produce one of the music tracks for an action scene on this project. Therefore, I will be a great asset to the Warner Brothers Entertainment Inc. Ms. Ann Sarnoff, you don't need to look further. Through my methodical storytelling, recording, and editing skills as a cinematographer for your company, I will bring a fresh and innovative vision.